Alright, I guess it's time to kick this thing off. In which case, hello. Um, what these streams are going to entail are basically this music. I know, right, Axel? I love a bit of that music actually. But what these streams are going to entail basically to give a walkthrough, a guide for new players who are going to be starting the game. And one of the first screens that you're ever going to see isn't exactly this one. This is the screen past the first screen that you're ever going to see. This is a completely fresh account that I've made specifically for at least this first stream. I don't know if I'll ever return to it for the other streams, so for now the new potato name has been taken. I'm sorry if you ever wanted it, but it's mine. And this is what you're going to see right from the off past that splash screen. The very first splash screen that you're going to be presented with is going to be the Academy screen, and it's going to be the initial tutorial for the beginning of the game. And as a new player, I highly recommend you do it. So what we're going to do is do it, but unfortunately these keys must be configured apparently. I don't know why they're not automatically configured, but okay, we will configure them. They kind of shouldn't be, they should already be configured. If they're not, I don't know why they're not. But what ones did it want again? Let's see. Arm lock and center legs. Okay. Let's do this real quick. Spectator, that's movement. Center legs. Let's just put that on. What should we put that on? F. Oh, right. So it's using my ones. Okay, so we'll just rebind these and arm lock it once. Da, da, da. Is that a movement? No. It's not in miscellaneous. Unlock. Right, we'll put it to a different key. A completely different key. It'll probably tell me to use it. No. We might need thermal vision. Launch UAV. No, because I'll want UAVs. Let's just rebind it to left shift. Okay. Save. Yes. Then we're going to go into the academy. Basic training. Now I understand that for veterans watching this initial part is going to be very, very boring. But what these guides entail is basically everything. I'm going to cover everything in the game. Okay? And this is one of the things in the game. It's one of the first things new players are met with. So we're going to cover it. Now I have adjusted my my graphics settings, just the resolution, and I've turned the music off because I don't really...
The year is 3051.
I'll shush.
Humanity has spread out amongst the stars, bringing their hopes, their fears, and their wars. The great houses and clans vie for territory and honor, using gigantic fighting machines known as battle mechs. You, as a child of that conflict, are about to join that war.
Sim control, Captain Adams, ready for another one?
More meat for the grinder, huh? Just patch me through. Welcome, recruit, to your first taste of iron and steel. My job is to make it a little less likely for you to crash and burn the moment you step on the battlefield. Let's drop you down here where you won't get your ass shot off right away. You're sitting on top of a fusion reactor in a multi-ton war machine the size of a building. Time to learn how to use it. This is your augmented training HUD. On your right, the training roadmap. It lets you know how you're progressing. On your left, the checklist. It shows your objectives and activities. have a look around your cockpit. And when you're ready, power up your battle mech.
So as you can see, this is the battle mech that you are given during the tutorial. It's a Thunderbolt, and let's power it up and see what it has.
Reactor online. Sensors online. All systems nominal.
So that's the complicated HUD you're looking at. And that's why we're giving you access to a field menu. Just hit escape. Here you've got buttons for game settings and such, but you can also click on HUD elements to display a field manual entry. Click away at the display to pop up more information.
Now, the Academy gives you a lot of information about what it says, the HUD elements, but it also gives you a lot of information about things that you're going to see and are very key on the battlefield itself when you come to play Mechwarrior Online. Take particular attention to these. They're not particularly part of the compass, but they give you information about the mechs that you're going to encounter. Right now, a lot of these are not going to they're not going to mean much at all to you as a new player just starting out. So it's kind of a wave of information given to you that may overwhelm you. But just take note, you know, ECM, ECM has been disabled by a narc. You have no idea what a narc is. You probably have no idea what ECM is. But we're going to cover that later on as we go through into the mech lab.
Hit escape again to get back in control of your battle mech.
We know, Captain Adams. Again, some things like this, you won't exactly know what everything is going on. You've just been thrown directly into this tutorial. However, once again, there's a lot of important information here that when you know about the weapon systems in the game, all of this will start to make a lot of sense. It's just basically giving you an overview of what everything means. Now, when we get to the minimap is one of the most important things for every single pilot in the game. To ignore it most of the time means certain death, quite frankly, as well as losses. Once again, when you click on it, take note of what things mean. It's very basic right now, even though you look at it right here and you're like, well, you say basic, but there's an awful lot of icons here that I have to look at. The main ones you have to pay attention to are the enemy mech and friendly mech, you, your target. That's about it to start off with. When you're coming into the game, these top four are the main ones that you have to be concerned with. Everything else, don't worry about it. This is explaining basically the damage to your mech. Now the arrows are kind of pointing not necessarily directly at their components, so I'm just going to break them down a little bit more for you. If something is red, that usually means it is one shot, it's critical. As you can see here, this is located basically where you would think on a human person their head would be. If you think about this like a person, this would be their stomach, this would be their chest, their arms and their legs. Now, it is split into both front and rear. Your front being obviously the very front part of your mech, which your cockpit looks out of. Your rear being where your ass is. Yellow basically means that the damage to that particular part is moderate. It's not necessarily hurtful, but it's starting to say to you that you should pay attention to it. If it's grayed out, or it's the neutral color of that particular mech, if it's in a sphere, it will be this color, this like orange goldish color, not this yellow. For clans, it will be blue, teal. So just take note of that. this being your speed setting. So you can see how fast your mech is actually going. Just in case that the visual representation of everything around you isn't exactly moving, this will give you an indication of how fast your mech is actually going. Heat indicator. Now, this is very basic, as the heat indicator is very basic in itself, but there's a lot of things in this game that will affect your heat, from engine to weapons to maps. It's good to take note of this throughout the entire of the game. There are ways in which you can manipulate your hit bar, and ways in which other people can manipulate your hit bar. We'll go through that later. These are different vision modes available to you in the game. Normal, basically what you see with your eye. Night vision turns everything green, makes it supposedly easier to see things during nighttime rounds, missions, whatever you do. And thermal vision, which in case night vision isn't cutting it for you, thermal vision will indicate where mechs are on the map. Because these mechs generate heat, they show up on thermal, unless they're using a particular type of armor. Again, we'll go through that armor at a later date. You don't need to know that right now. Your zoom factor. Now, when a mech is a further distance away from you, you may need to zoom in order to hit it, being a starting out pilot. If it's closer to you, then you don't need a zoom. That little indicator down at the bottom just basically tells you how far you're zoomed in. You're never really going to pay particular attention to it, simply because you'll know by how big everything is whether or not you're zoomed in. This is your vertical speed, i.e. going up and down. Once again, this doesn't really matter much to new players. You're going to be going up and down, and you're never really going to pay particular attention to your vertical speed. You do take fall damage in this game, and it only hurts your legs, but it's only very, very minor. And you only need to pay attention to your vertical speed when you're a Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart is a particular type of mech that uses its weapons when it jumps up and down. This mech, not being a Pop-Tart, this doesn't really matter. In fact, for most of the game, vertical speed doesn't matter at all. Now that we've clicked on everything, let's get back to listen to whatever Captain Adams has to tell us.
To help you learn the controls, your mech comes equipped with a cheat sheet. Press and hold F1 at any time if you need a reminder of what button does what. Try it now.
It's not really a cheat sheet, more of a operations sheet. Now, looking at this particular sheet, you're going to be overwhelmed as a new player. You're going to be like, oh my god, there's a lot of buttons. What do I do? What do I press? I'll simplify it for you. WASD are your main movement keys. Mouse is how you look around, and if you envisage? Well, if you look at your mech as a tank. If you've ever played World of Tanks, that's how you move in this game. Obviously, some mechs are limited to how far they can turn around via their torso, which is what you move when you move your mouse. But it works the same way. Things like chain fire, alpha strike, even heat vision, night vision, you're not really going to pay much of attention to these things. Hell, even mech eject, you don't even need to know that. WASD, your mouse for movement. To fire weapons, mouse 1, mouse 2, and 3 and 4 if you have them set. That's what does everything in this game. That's all you need to know when you're starting out.
Now you know where to look. Don't forget it's there. Use it. First things first, let's get that battle mech moving. A battle mech drives like a tank. The mech goes where the legs are pointing, not where you're looking.
I just said that.
Ignore that fact, and you'll find yourself jammed up wondering why you're not moving.
No, it's very
Now,
true.
since you're a raw recruit, you get extra help to show where your legs are pointing. Look down. That arrow shows you where your legs are pointing. The mech will move in that direction. There it is. You found it. That arrow points forward for the mech, no matter where you're looking. Well, off you go. Hey, don't scratch the paint.
Now, if you're a new pilot coming into this game, or even if you're a veteran, if you find that you're very often bumping into things, getting stuck on the geometry of maps, turn this thing on. It's there. It points you in the direction. It's a great helping mechanic of this game, and it's a total in the options. Turn it on. It's great for new players, and it's even good for veterans.
There's no strafing or sidestepping in a battle mech. You've got to turn to change direction. This shifts your legs so they line up with... This brings your view over and around on top of your legs and your direction of travel. You now have the basics to controlling all battle mechs. And now, let's look at your weapons. The status of each of your weapons is displayed in the lower right of your HUD. Weapons are clustered into groups that fire together when triggered. I'll just enable your weapons and off you go.
Weapons online.
Battle mechs can be configured in hundreds of ways with dozens of different weapon combinations. Your arms are now unlocked and can move freely.
So, when this goes on to the weapons, as a newbie, your arms are automatically going to be locked to your torso, and you'll have to press a
The
key
extra
to
reticule shows where your arms are aiming.
unlock your arms by pressing a key. Later on, we're going to go and change this immediately in the options, but for now, we're just entertaining this tutorial. I will go through why I do this when I come to it. But for now, we're just going to fire our weapons and get the tutorial done.
That's your autocannon. A ballistic. That's a large laser mounted. Those are medium lasers. Those are short-range missiles. Those are small lasers. They recharge quickly. Alpha Strike fires all weapons. Ballistic weapons run cool and have higher rates of fire, but they can run out of ammo.
That's a lie. Not the run out of ammo, but the run cool part.
Well, congratulations. I'm thoroughly convinced that, with minimal help, you seem to be fully capable of finding your own shiny brass backside. Next up, your battle grid minimap and compass. Make your way out of the landing zone to the next stage. That's a waypoint. The blue smoke and symbol marks it as an objective to go to. That symbol appears on your compass and battle grid minimap. Off you go. Work your way over there and run through the smoke. Don't get lost.
So, this is the basic part when you're going to get used to how your battle mech handles, just by following the waypoints.
Right. You made it. Now let's see how well you drive that battle mech. Start the challenge by going through the green start marker. Follow the arrows.
Now you do this correctly and you do it fast enough,
And make your way through each yellow marker as fast as you can before the clock runs out.
you get some...
Start the challenge by going through the green start marker.
Now, as I was about to say, you do this fast enough and you get gold. Basically, you're going to be awarded a lot of C-bills. I advise that you continue running through this course until you get gold, and then get the Seabills. Seabills are the currency of Mechwarrior Online, and you need every cent that you can get. So let's just start this challenge.
Excellent. Top marks.
As you see, that's 2 million Seabills you get just for running for basically, what, a minute 30 seconds? That's the easiest 2 million you're ever going to make in this game. Do it.
Congrats, recruit. You made it through. So let's see what's next on the agenda. See those pillars of light? They mark the starting point for an Academy Challenge. That one reruns the Pilot Challenge for a chance to earn any awards you missed. That one leads on to the next stage, Basic Targeting. Just walk into the light.
Ha! Walk into the light. Now, believe it or not, that's all the Seabills you're going to get from this from this tutorial, I do believe. You get the 2 million, although I think if you do all of these, you may get more. Let's just see, just in case. Pilot Challenge 1.
Start the challenge by going through the green start marker.
Okay, yeah. So this is just the course again, so we're just going to ignore it and see if we can do the basic targeting. No, we can't. Alright, so we'll just run through the course again, because screw it. Top tip for this course: go full speed when you go through the start marker. It just gives you extra seconds at the end. You don't have to hit every curb, but if you just hold down the left key, there you can make that turn. Same with this, if you just hold down the right key, you can make this turn through this little chicane. That's basically what it is. Holding down the left key. Trees you'll knock over in this game. I wonder if I'll beat my previous time. There are arrows down on the ground that you can see that are basically guiding you towards the finish line. Nah, I didn't beat my previous time.
Excellent. Top marks.
Yeah, but you only get, I think someone in the chat basically said, shooting the friendly atlas will give you some more Seabills. I think it only gives you like 50 or so. They didn't up the thing for that.
So, let's get you dealing with the enemy. One of the most important skills to master is targeting.
No, shooting is the most important skill to master. Targeting is okay, but shooting is the most important skill to master.
Enemies appear as red arrowheads on the map and as red diamonds on the compass.
Very important.
Friendly forces appear in blue. That's me on your map.
He's not friendly.
So go find the enemy. Enemy mechs need to be in line of sight to show up on your radar. So keep a wary eye out.
Target acquired.
Shortly after targeting, a detailed scan appears. Targets farther away take longer to scan. That's a Boar's Head Atlas, a big, bad assault mech. 100 tons of bad attitude. This is the enemy's damage indicator. When you target a mech, you get a full scan of its weapons and health, front and back. Each part of a battle mech has separate health and armor. Gold is full health, orange is damaged, and red means dangerously low and about to go. One way to kill a mech is by destroying its center torso. Always check your damage indicator. The center torso on this one is ready to blow. One shot may do it.
He was lying.
Destroyed.
That's the way, but be careful. There's another battle mech behind you. Anything out of you won't show up on your map.
Target acquired.
And that's a Battlemaster Hellslinger, an 85-ton assault mech with lots and lots of weapons. The torso on this one is untouched, but a battle mech can also be taken out by destroying both legs. And by a great grand coincidence, this one has one leg gone. Shoot the other to finish it off.
Target
2
destroyed.
down, 1 to go. Find the last enemy battle mech.
New target acquired.
Listen closely. There's another, much harder way to take out a battle mech. And that's to destroy the small, vulnerable window protecting the cockpit. The cockpit is a very small part of the head. Miss, your shot just hits the torso.
Target destroyed.
That's all there is to it. Target, find the weak spot, kill. Of course, these ones aren't shooting back. Now here's a few more for you to practice on.
Now there are various mechs in the game. This one's also put in some friendly mechs. When you drop into the battlefield, friendly mechs will have a little indicator above their head, as will the enemy mechs. Red, bad. Blue, good. As you notice that these indications are also different. If the diamond has an X in the center, that means it's an assault mech. If the diamond has a straight line going down, medium mech. If the diamond has a horizontal cross, that means it's a heavy mech. And if the diamond is hollow, that means it's a light mech.
Target
The
acquired.
armor on the cockpit is gone, but the vulnerable spot on most battle mechs is quite small.
Target destroyed. New target acquired.
One leg is gone. Go for the other one.
Target destroyed. New target
That one's
acquired.
hiding in the smoke. Try thermal vision to cut through the haze.
Now, that occasionally happens in this game. You can fire at a mech and it will absorb by somehow, some way, some damage that you throw at it. The head of that commando absorbed 3 AC tanks.
Target acquired.
Targets farther away take longer to scan.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
One leg is gone. Go for the other one.
Now they've pre-damaged all of these mechs to make you kind of feel like a badass going around and killing all these mechs.
Target destroyed.
That's the basic tutorial complete.
Well, we're just about done here. But there's way more to learn about piloting a battle mech.
And I'm gonna tell them.
For that, We provide a playground to train and test yourself and your battle mechs.
Nah, you don't need it.
Welcome to the Mechwarrior Academy. Test weapons and battle mechs at the firing range. Survive the gauntlet. Improve your targeting skills. And try out new battle mechs.
Congratulations, you've completed basic training. You can continue exploring the academy or return to the main menu to play a match. Now, at this point, basically, there is no reason to continue playing the tutorial. You will gain nothing from it, apart from maybe getting shot or just running around and having a look at the map. But as was pointed out to me in chat, there is one final thing to do to Mr. Captain Adams here. You could change the time of day, but what we're going to do is pick a mech, actually, that will do something pretty funny. I think it's this one. This is just for a bit of humour, and because although Captain Adams is voiced by somebody who is maybe familiar to you if you played Mechwarrior 4, George Ledoux, it's just something you've got to do if you do this tutorial. Aim for the eye.
Okay, you get one for free.
Shoot.
I would seriously consider your options at this point. I don't believe we've been properly introduced. My name is Captain Julius H. Adams. I am in charge of this academy. I am God in here. That's you losing an arm and the weapons attached to it.
Now you see, before, what you used to be able to do was kill Mr. Captain Adams, because you could shoot him in the head. As this game's already told you,
Okay, you get one for free.
headshots are what kill people in this game, but after shooting him so many times, you see that his percentage is at 100%. They didn't like you killing Captain Adams. So, one of the achievements in the menu is mute. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to exit the tutorial. And that covers the academy. Now, as you see, you get your rewarded C-bills. Basic tutorial complete, you get 2.5 million. For completing the pilot challenge, you get another 2 million. And for the shiny brass backside, you get another $500,000. Doing those two achievements only gets you 100 C-bills, so they're not really worth it. But you know what? It's just for fun. Now, as we see, our C-bill counter is already at 5 million, and that was pretty much a really easy thing to do. Of course, doing the pilot challenge may take you a few tries, but I promise you, stick with it, get it done, and get these 5 million C-bills. Now, the first thing we're going to do, as you're greeted by this menu, you are greeted by an awful lot of buttons here, and we're just going to go around for the basic ones that you have to pay attention to right from the off. First, what we're going to do is have a look at our achievements. Mechwarrior Online has a vast amount of achievements available to it. A lot of them require an awful lot of progress throughout the game. especially for each one of the classes that are available to you, the light, medium, heavy, and assault classes. We'll get to them more in detail later. The most important achievements for you to pay attention to as a new player right now are at the bottom, the cadet bonus. Now, as you see, completing the cadet bonuses, complete one match, not necessarily a win or a loss, grants you 800,000 Seabolts. It goes down as you complete more and more and more, but what I advise you do is just play the game and complete all of your cadet bonus. You also get some GXP at the very end. But how are you going to complete these cadet bonuses? Well, we're going to go to our select mech screen. Everything else here is basically useless to you. You don't need to click it. Inventory, you have nothing right now. Manage drop decks, that's for something later on in the game that right now you have no business or knowledge in doing. Convert XP, you can't even do that yet. Statistics, you haven't played the game yet. Leaderboard, you're going to have to get very good in order to really make this button useful to you. Redeem codes. If you get codes via giveaways on certain streams, click that button or just go straight to the site. Titles and badges. As you go through achievements, you're going to unlock these titles. If you buy mech packages, these titles will become available to you. If you're special, you get a hearing impaired one. If you're deaf, I don't even know why that one's there. Same with the badges. If you buy mech packages, these are basically what you're going to get. Mechs are released on a monthly basis by PGI. At first, they start just as money-only purchases. Then they go to MC purchases, which is still money. You buy MC with real-life money. And then they go to Seabolt purchases. This transition usually takes 4 to 5 months, with them going out for MC first for a month, and then Seabolts when they're finally out for everybody. When these mechs are fully released, the only reason to buy them with real-world cash is so that you can get these badges and the titles affiliated with them. Now, we're going to get ourselves into the mech lab, or the select mech screen. At the very beginning of the game, you are basically given trial mechs. I say given. These trial mechs will change depending every month. They might rotate them, or they might stay the same for a couple months for everyone to play. You get 4 mechs per class. 2 clan mechs and 2 inner sphere mechs of varying tonnages. Now you're lucky as a new player, because back in the day these trial mechs were horrible. What do I mean by horrible? Well, they didn't have the best builds equipped on them. Their armor was all wrong. And basically playing them was a trial in itself. PGI asked the community for a revision of these builds, and the community responded with basically some of not necessarily the optimal builds for each mech, but a build that will allow you, a new player, to get into the game and play at a decent level as to somebody who has been in the game for a while and has unlocked quite a bit of content just from their playtime. But which one of these mechs is best for a new player to start off with? I mean, what are you going to pick? Well, think of it this way. The heavier the mech, the slower it goes, but the more firepower it gives. These stats down here might not mean a lot to you now, but as you play the game more and more, this is going to start making more sense to you. As we see here, this trial mech is a direwolf. Direwolves are 100-ton mechs that bring an awful lot of firepower with them. Clan firepower, as it is a clan mech. When we click on the mech lab screen, it's going to give us a little notice that we can view the loadout, but we cannot customize it. This is the trade-off with trial mechs. You cannot customize them, only pilot them. As we see with this direwolf, it has 2 ghost rifles, 2 large pulse lasers, 3 medium lasers, ammo, and heat sinks already equipped onto the mech. Now, all of this, quite frankly, right now to you, Mr. New Player, means nothing to you. So don't worry about it. What you're going to do to start off with is you're going to play each one of these mechs and basically get a feel for them as you complete your cadet bonus. Hang on, I gotta be right back real quick. That's my cat. She's yelling to get in. Yes, cat. Anyway, where were we? Anyway, mechs. Now, new players are going to find basically the assault mechs very hard to pilot and control simply because they are small. They often require different management of your heat, the weapon ranges, and shielding. And these are all things that you're going to know nothing about and going to have no skill in them whatsoever. So, it's the same deal with the light mechs. Yes. Light mechs are small, carry a little bit of firepower with them, but at the same time, very little armor. Getting shot in these things is quite hectic. You may find that you die an awful lot and you're thinking, oh, this sucks. Well, it's basically the mech that you picked. It's a light mech. It has a certain role in the battlefield. The mechs I advise you to start off with are the heavy and medium classes. These are the most noob-friendly mechs out there. Now, I know what you're saying. I've played World of Tanks, or I played World of Warships. I can handle being a tank or a big thing or whatever. Like, listen to me. There's only so many transferable skills you're going to get from any other game that you've played. Health in this game doesn't regenerate. A lot of the time your buddies aren't going to help you. And you can die within a couple seconds in this game if you are not watching. So the thing you're going to start off with is just completing your cadet bonuses and getting used to how your mechs feel in the game. Start off, all I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to pick a trial mech. I'm going to pick the Ebon Jaguar. I like the Ebon Jag. It's a cool mech. That's why I'm picking it. So once you've decided on the mech that you're going to pick and play, the one button that you should pay attention to is quick play. Not faction play or comp play. Quick play. Depending on your area of wherever you live, there's going to be various regional servers available to you. Depending on your region, deselect the servers that are furthest away from you. Keep the servers that are closest to you checked. Oh, this cat of mine, I tell you. Once this is done, go ahead and quick play. And you're going to be searching for a match. Once you've found a match, you are given a vote screen. As a new player, you have no idea what any of these maps are or what any of these game modes are. So just click anything. It'll be fine. No, really, it will. As we play the different game modes, not necessarily the maps, I'll go through the differences of what they entail. Frozen City is a map basically covered in snow. It's cold and is, well, white. When you get into the game, you're going to be greeted by various other players. They may be new to the game, or they may just be Smurfs. Either way, pay this no mind. Hitting the Ready tab does absolutely nothing. When all players have connected to the game, the time remaining will go down to 10, and then you'll be off stomping away and shooting enemy mechs. Just gonna check something real quick.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Command to all warriors on the surface. Your task is to wipe away all hostiles.
Oh yeah?
No mercy.
I'm saying right from the off, just jump straight into the action. Straight into the game. Now remember what I said earlier about the arm toddler and everything. We're just going to set that back right now. There was another key I had to toggle, but it's of no relevant use right now. So when you drop in, just follow your team and have a look at the map. The maps are very pretty to look at, especially if you've got your graphics settings just set on medium, which is the default for whenever you drop into the game.
Affirmative.
Now, most of these players are going to have mechs that they have bought with C-bills and have fitted out with custom equipment and such. You can think this gives them an advantage over you or not. Either way, the only basic things you're going to be worrying about is wherever you're moving, how you're moving, turning,
Affirmative.
and then firing at the enemy when you see them.
Target spotted.
Now, as the tutorial says, the way to target your enemy is to press the R key. And it is important, just not as important as shooting the enemy.
Target acquired.
But whenever you see something pop up that you can target, I advise you do it. Mechwarrior is a very pretty game, and it can be, easy to kind of get turned away by some of the visuals that are represented here to you.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
of the things the tutorial didn't really cover is selecting your weapon groups, which you do by using your arrow keys on your keyboard and control. As I did there, I switched the medium laser over from weapon group 3
Target spotted.
to weapon group 1. When I move my arrow keys, you see the highlighter moving about on my weapon group selector down there. Anyway, let's get in there and shoot some mechs.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Various weapons in the game have different mechanics to them. The Clan Ghost Rifle, equipped on the Semper
Target
Jaguar,
spotted.
is a charge mechanic,
New target
represented on
acquired.
the screen around the crosshair by the little colour that changes. First it's yellow and then it goes to green. Green means go, yellow means charging.
New target acquired.
Now in the lower tier games,
New
which
target acquired.
this account's tier 5, it's a new account, everything's going to be very slow and you're going to be confused as to where to actually go to do anything in the game. That's okay. You're a new player. This is normal. No one's going to be brilliant right from the
Target
off.
spotted.
My advice to you right from the off is just complete the matches. Have fun and get a feel for the mechs that you pilot.
Need assistance. Target spotted.
Acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired.
Enemy
target
forces at
acquired.
75%.
Target
New
spotted.
target acquired.
I think you may be able to hear my cat meowing in the background.
New target acquired.
Thanks.
New target acquired.
Target
Now-
spotted.
Whatever you do, don't go rushing into battle. Just try and focus on staying alive. It's gonna do you more benefit this way.
The enemy has started to chip away at us. Stay close.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Target
Only
destroyed.
half of the enemies remain.
New target acquired. Heat level critical. New target acquired.
Target
Two
spotted.
hostiles
Heat
are
level
remaining.
critical.
Crush the cowards.
Target spotted.
New target
Target
acquired.
spotted.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
As a new player, when focusing on an enemy mechs, the best advice I can give you is aim for center mass. Don't worry about hitting them in the left torso, in the arms, in the leg, wherever. Shoot them in the center. It's all you need to do when starting out.
Bask in the glory of
There
your
we go,
triumph.
with our very first match.
Nice work.
Sorry, I just had to let the cat out of my room. Now, when we get to this screen, it gives us basically a breakdown of all the things we did. We got 2 kills, 4 kill assists, 2 kill most damage dealt. We did 579 damage. As a new player, you're not gonna do that. You might, but you may not. Don't expect to get any kills in your first game. Don't expect to get 579 damage or even any assists. Like I said earlier, just focus on moving about, shooting the weapons and the enemy mechs, and don't let yourself get pressured by expecting to do good in these low tier games. When a match is completed, you're just gonna get introduced back to this starting screen. Now you may have enjoyed playing the Ebon Jag, or you may think, you know, that was too slow. I want to go for something a little faster. Well then, go for a medium mech. Some medium mechs are faster, some are slower. Phoenix Hawk has 6 medium lasers equipped on it, has guarding ECM and 2 jump jets. What the guarding ECM does for you, basically, it interrupts enemy targeting systems. ECM stands for Electronic Countermeasure. You may have heard it in military speak or wherever, some sci-fi novel you read once upon a time, but that's all it does. Jump jets, pretty self-explanatory. They enable you to jump. Let's give the Phoenix Hawk a little go. Yeah, Tourmaline Desert. Well, as you can kind of picture from a desert, you might be thinking hot, lots of sand. You'll be right. That's basically what this map is. An assault, different game mode than before. The assault game mode basically capture the enemy base. Now you don't necessarily have to go and capture the enemy base.
Who is this Rudy Poo?
Well, I guess that's going to be in the VOD. Thank you very much, Bunny, for the host. Now, the Phoenix Hawk, little nickname for it is a Pixie or whatever. Medium mech with jump jets.
Reactor
A lot
online.
more agile than the heavy mech we were just playing.
Sensors online. Weapons online.
So it may come as a shock to your system
All
when you
systems
come
nominal.
and play this mech. Now, there's a big difference between this mech and the other mech we were just playing. The biggest difference being your weapons are now in your arms. And when you move your mouse, you notice that the torso moves a hell of a lot quicker. Incoming dropships.
Who is this Rudy Poo?
No GNG hosting me. Thanks very much, Sean. Now, after maybe a few matches or so, you're going to be wondering, okay, what do I do? I mean, do I just look for the enemy, shoot them, and kill them? Yes, that is definitely an option. Or you can go cap their base. But once again, as a new player, I advise you to find enemy mechs and shoot them. But pay attention to cover and such. There's lots of different ways an enemy mech can kill you pretty quickly. As you see here, this guy has LRMs. But one of our dudes over there has AMS, anti-missile systems. So we're pretty cool right now. Teams gathering in this spot. Pay attention right there. You saw some red smoke and then explosions happening around the place. That's known as an artillery strike. You will learn very quickly that artillery strikes, air strikes alike, are very painful things that this game throws at you. Well, I'm doing a video as well as a VOD at the same time.
Target acquired. Heat level critical. Heat level critical.
Unfortunately for this poor little Irby, he found himself out of position
Heat level critical.
for some very, very strange reason.
Heat level critical. Heat level critical.
Hey, note, I'm trying my best not to get my heat
Heat level
bar
critical.
all the way to the top.
Target destroyed.
If my heat goes to above or equal to 100%, my mech's gonna shut down and I'm gonna be left, well,
System offline.
like this. As you see, when I'm like this in the heat of a battlefield, I can't move. Someone could come up behind me right now and shoot me right in the butt, and I wouldn't even have the chance to do anything about it. Just let's not be like that.
CT.
Now, different maps are going to have different effects on your mech, and you will learn this as you play the different trial mechs and wander about on these maps.
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired. Target destroyed. Target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Torso critical damage. Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Need assistance.
Target acquired.
Target spotted.
New target acquired. Fuel at 25%. Heat level critical.
I've never actually played a Phoenix Hawk before. This makes kind of fun.
Heat level critical. New target acquired. Target destroyed. Heat level critical. New target acquired. Target acquired.
Now, me being a tier 1 player amongst all these tier 5s doesn't actually mean anything. You see, there could be a lot of tier 5 players here that have played the game for an awful lot,
Target destroyed.
but just haven't found that bit of oomph or whatever.
Target
Then again, it's the same
acquired.
for the tier 1 players. There's an awful lot of tier 1 players that aren't necessarily good.
Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
Nice.
As Darren says, it's Bombadil, NGNG, like him. I don't believe that for a second, but once again, with Phoenix Hawk, we enjoyed it, you know, we ran around, we shot stuff, we got some damage in. It was all cool for Mr. New Potato. Once again, we got our cadet bonus too. We got a medium assist, and you're probably thinking, what's that? Oh, we assisted someone as a medium. In that trick, we got 3 kills. At this point, maybe you're thinking, oh, well, these 2 previous games, they were really, really easy. I feel like doing something, I feel like just going nuts. Okay, well, go for it. There's no reason not to. I mean, you're not going to get penalized for it whatsoever. The thing to remember with Mechwarrior Online is no matter how you play it, the only people who are going to be angry at you is everybody else. And if you come into this game with the mentality of, to hell with what everybody else thinks, I'm just going to have fun, then pick whatever you want and get used to it. Bear in mind, later on down the road in future streams and videos and whatever, we'll go through all the different types of play styles, the weaponry that you can eventually put on your mechs when you have drummed off enough C-bills to buy a mech and customize it. But let's say for this one particular instance, Mr. New Potato feels like being an assault mech. And which assault mech should he try? Well, he looks at all these assault mechs and goes, well, this one looks particularly badass. It's Direwolf that we were introduced to at the very beginning of the game. remember? You listened to my advice and you picked a heavy, and then you thought, you know, I'm going to go pick a medium because that guy Rouser said so. But I'm going to go off the beaten path and pick a heavier mech. So you pick an assault. You pick a direwolf. Have fun, have fun, have fun. It's a great game to have fun with. It is a good game to have fun with. Now, one thing to remember with a particular person such as myself. I've played this game for a good long while. So has a lot of other community members. That's why we call them veterans. And most of them are either competitive players or players that are very much in an elitist mindset, be it lore-wise or weaponry-wise or whatever. Now, there are various ways that you can go out and meet these people, because you're probably going to be sat there thinking, you know what? I wanna go and meet some of these fascinating people. And I'm being honest with you, Mechwarrior Online has a lot of very fascinating people in it. Okay, I have met quite a few of them. Some of the best places to do this are on the Mechwarriors Reddit Outreach HPG. You can go onto NGNG, No Guts, No Galaxy. They have a Discord available to you, and they also have a TeamSpeak that you can go on to and meet new people. In fact, that's how I met the first group of people that I ever dropped a game with. They're now a unit called BMMU. Head of them is, well, the leader is Battle Bunny. So shout outs to him. But Mr. New Potato here, he picked a direwolf and thought, you know, I'm gonna go and cream them all. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. We're gonna find out. Okay, we're gonna go on a little adventure together. Now, this may be the fun part, or it may be the absolutely ragey part. We're gonna see. One of the things to remember, though, when you go out there into the world of Mechwarrior, is the fact that you're going to get a lot of different opinions on how to pilot the mechs, how to build them, how to run around, how to even talk to other people, which is a weird one. The purpose of these streams and the VODs that they create and the videos that will go up onto YouTube might not necessarily give you the most optimal way to play the game.
Online.
Hell, you might even think somebody else's videos are the most fun way, but
online.
What I aim to give you is
all systems nominal.
All the information at your fingertips.
Get to the target and capture it.
So that you know what to do. So Mr. New Potato, having dropped in his direwolf, noticed that, oh my god, is it slow. He was just piloting a Phoenix Hawk, and that thing went over 100 kph, and this thing barely reaches 50. Torso twist is so slow. There's a new player coming into this. This is a death trap for you. You might be thinking, you know what, I think you're full of shit. Well, go play it and find out. I'm going to take this time out right now to introduce to you what happens when you toggle arm lock on and off. As you see, my cursor is no longer following the center of my screen. Well, it is following, but it's lagging behind. Each mech has a very distinct rate in which it both turns and, I'm already getting shot at, and repositions itself. This information is available to you on the mech loadout screen. But the best way to get a handle for how well a mech pilots is by basically either using it as a trial mech or buying the thing and then playing it.
Warning, incoming missile. New target acquired. New target
What I did just
acquired.
there was shoot down a UAV. Because Mr. New Potato has learned to read the minimap.
Target spotted.
As we see here, this being the domination game mode on HPG, a cold map. Domination has a circle in the center of the map. This circle, your mechs must stand in order to control this point. If enemy mechs stand in it, then it is contested. The little UI at the very top of the screen shows that each team has basically 1 minute. Blue being your team, red being the enemy team. Now the red team reached it first, so they have ticked down a bit
acquired.
of their clock.
New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
That's going to happen a lot. This will happen a lot.
Target spotted.
Don't get mad. Just reposition
New target acquired.
and do what your mech does best and shoot things.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Target spotted. Need assistance.
New
Remember to
target
press your R key,
acquired.
find where enemies are, and shoot them till they're dead. This is all you need to do to play Mechwarrior.
Target spotted.
New
Need
target
assistance.
acquired. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Need assistance. Sorry.
I didn't headshot the. I was going for the headshot. But
Warning, incoming missile.
quite good.
Target acquired.
Beta is down.
New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile. New target acquired. New target acquired.
I got that guy's trying to hit me. This is cool. This is a very dangerous thing to do.
New
Sorry.
target acquired. Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming missile.
They've destroyed Alpha. That's pushed us back. We can't let them take control.
New target acquired. Warning,
Need
incoming
assistance.
missile.
Somebody keeps trying to LOM me too. Oh, there we go. They finally found a way to LOM me.
Right arm critical damage. Right torso critical damage. Warning, incoming missile. Target destroyed. New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile. Target destroyed.
So still one mech left. Wonder where he is.
Command
Target
confirming
acquired.
enemy beta is destroyed. Keep it up.
Okay, now he's in the circle.
Target
New
spotted.
target acquired.
There he is. Oh, it's
Need
the Mad Dog.
assistance.
He's underneath.
Right leg critical damage.
Oh, he ran out the gate.
Target destroyed.
Oh well.
Warriors, you have taken the target. We are victorious in battle.
And that's our direwolf. Mr. New Potato somehow survived his jaunt with the trial direwolf. All these mech builds, like I said earlier, were revised by the community at PGI's request, and therefore they're not actually that bad. Mr. New Potato, having played an assault heavy and medium now, thinks, well, you know what, there's only one thing left, and man, was that assault mech really, really slow. So he clicks on the select mech screen, he hits the light mech tab, and then he thinks about a light mech to pilot. He picks the Adder because even though it's not really that fast, he just likes the look of it. Now, the Adder's not, it's definitely not a fast light. Going under 100 kph, it's pretty much one of the slowest lights in the game, probably. At least for what you can do for trial mechs. Other mechs are, well, their speed is determined by their engine size, but as a new player, you don't even need to go into that yet. Customization in this game isn't even open to you because you haven't even got a mech yet. You just need to play the game and earn your cadet bonuses and, well, see which chassis you like. But my recommendation, go with a medium mech or a heavy mech first. Don't go light or heavy or assault. Bad things will happen. In fact, the medium mech that we had just piloted, the Phoenix Hawk, was a hell of a lot faster than the light mech that we're piloting right now. My biggest problem as a newbie pilot was knowing where my legs were turned. Well, You know, like right now, it basically tells you you can toddle on a little thing. And Windbreaker says that an adder is a heavy mech that forgot to put its clothes on. Might be a little true, but you know, Mr. New Potato doesn't know any different.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
This is Clan Command. Get to the target and capture it. Cut down any enemies that get in the way.
It being domination again, we're gonna head for that yellow outline that we see on our minimap and, well, shoot any enemies that we see. There is one more game mode that we have not yet seen, called Incursion. It involves two bases. Actually, there's two. There's Incursion and Escort. But Incursion involves two bases, similar to Assault. However, the bases have equipment inside them, which the enemy team has to infiltrate and destroy. It's a lot more complicated than that, but we'll go over that at a later date. Escort, a mech that is a VIP, is assigned to one team, and that team must defend the VIP as it makes its way towards a dropship.
Target spotted.
There are various towers throughout the map that jam the enemy team, which they can cap them, as well as there are turrets that shoot at the enemy team to prevent them from getting towards your VIP. We'll cover it in more detail later, but that's the basic gist of it.
Target acquired. New target acquired. New target
Need
acquired.
assistance. Target spotted.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Beta is down.
New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile. New target acquired. Warning, incoming missile. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Target
New
spotted.
target acquired.
Affirmative.
Once again, I
New
reiterate,
target acquired.
when you're playing the game, just run around, explore the map a little bit, stay with your team, and do attempt to play, you know. Don't just run off by yourself and think, oh, screw everything, I'm just gonna go do whatever I want.
New target acquired.
That's not necessarily how you play this game. You gotta be careful.
Target destroyed. Heat level critical.
Need assistance.
What I
New
did to
target
that mech there
acquired.
was something very interesting. The difference between clan mechs and
Misclick
Innisphere
is your
mechs
stick.
is that Innisphere mechs can sometimes become equipped with something known as an XL engine. An XL engine, we'll go into a lot more detail in a
New
later date,
target acquired.
but it has a glaring weakness in the fact that its side torsos are vulnerable to
Target
basically kill the
destroyed.
mech.
Target acquired.
Being a light mech, we want to use our speed and maneuverability to our advantage, as well as
Warning.
basically
incoming
our
missile.
size. Although light mechs aren't as small as they used to be in the game, they are still relatively tiny compared to other mechs. You want to use this to your advantage, and you'll basically find while you're playing that other mechs will have a harder time hitting you. This of course will
Target
become
destroyed.
less of
New target acquired.
a factor the more games you play and the higher tier games you're able to play it.
Target destroyed. New target acquired. New target acquired.
Here's a lot of back armor.
New target acquired. Heat level critical.
We're taking down the enemy's Alpha.
New target acquired. Heat level critical. New target acquired. Heat level critical. New target acquired. New target acquired. Target destroyed. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
Oh! And we got team killed. Our first death of the game. It's a very good game though, isn't it?
Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
Now,
Target acquired.
deaths,
Heat level
this is about to
critical.
come to in this game. They happen, okay? As a new player coming into this game, getting used to the mechanics of moving, shooting, controlling your heat and your speed. It's overwhelming as a new player because there's a lot of information thrown
Target
at you
destroyed.
Warriors, you have taken the target.
and you have
Your
very little
force
time to
in
get
battle.
used to it. Now you can think, you know, ah, damn it, I got killed by TK. This guy says sorry for TK. I just said no problem back. One of the things you have to get used to as a new player coming into Mechwarrior, oh damn it, we got out damaged. Shit. Is, well, dying. It's gonna happen a lot. It happens in every game. Everybody dies. It's a fact of life. It's a fact of Mechwarrior. You're going to die. Get used to it. In fact, you have to die to get good. Because, well, if you go through all your games without dying, somebody's going to accuse you of hacking. Now, you can die in numerous ways. You can get shot by the enemy. You can get shot by your own team, just like I did. Or you can die to an artillery strike and be like, what just happened? This stuff doesn't really matter. Just click the OK button and move on. You're a new player. You're just experimenting right now. At the end of that game, we were awarded with a supply cache. When you play Mechwarrior and complete a match, you have a random chance of being awarded by something called a supply cache. This is awarded to a player on any team, as far as I know. And it has a chance of giving you a piece of equipment. As far as I know, supply cache is going to be changed at some point, so we're not really going to cover them much in depth. Now, as you've been playing the game, you will notice something. Your skill rating, it's changed. When you first started up the game, it said tier 5, and this little orange meter was something like here. Now, it says tier 3 after 4 matches, and you're about a quarter of the way through it. Basically, you may think that the tier rating system is an indication of your skill. Right now, honestly, it is. At the very beginning of the game, your first matches, it's trying to skill you. It's trying to place you into a bracket which you'll be most comfortable in, where you will have the most, the best part of a fight. Now, you're either doing really, really good as a new player or really, really bad. Watching me and seeing whatever I do, you might not be able to copy what I'm doing straight away, but hopefully throughout the rest of my streams that I'll be doing and videos, you'll gradually gain an understanding of what I'm doing, how I'm moving my legs, how I'm moving my torso, why I'm using my weapons in a certain location, why I'm not shooting at a certain time, so on and so forth, when I start to go on to explain the different playstyles of the game. Okay, call sign for it. Thank you very much for stopping by, dude. One thing you have to understand is that the tier system in the game is not a measurement of skill. It is a measurement of basically how long people have been playing the game. Now, some people may be playing the game for a long time, as I said earlier, and still be in lower tiers. Other people who have played the game for not so long, maybe in tier 1, but you will find that the vast majority of players are in tier 1, and their skill level doesn't mean anything because it says tier 1. The tier system is basically there for the matchmaker to throw you into a game with relatively, and I would use the term loosely, skilled players. As it's been pointed out in chat, as I was about to say, once you get past 20 games, this little bar is going to move a lot slower. So when you're starting out, pay this little bar no mind. Just concentrate on playing whatever mech, whatever trial mech is available to you, and experimenting, having fun. Shoot mechs. Try not to shoot your teammates. I mean, go through the basic understanding of the game, but shoot the enemy, have a look at the maps, and just go for it. Now, we've only completed 4 matches here, and we have 9 million seabells. Completing all the matches will eventually give you about, I do believe, 15 million overall. That is, of course, with the Academy bonus included. What we're going to do is we're just going to play another mech. Because why not? I mean, screw it. As far as the game knows, we're a new player. You're a new player, so let's just do what you would do. Pick a mech and go with it. Okay, I've just had it actually confirmed to me in chat that Tier 1 players are the minority in MWO. I don't know if I believe that. There's a lot of accounts that have been left. And exactly, Gojo. As it was also pointed out in chat, although a lot of people point it out as an XP bar, you know, the longer you play, the more it will feel. It's generally considered that as very, very true. It's still representative of something kind of like skill. As you've seen so far, tier 3 to 5, or tier 5 to 3, sorry, is pretty darn easy and relaxing for me to just sit and play in. If I were, as a new player, to pick this, well, not as a new player, but as a player that I already am, just get in here and buy a mech pack, put weapons on it, and just go nuts, I'd be farming. I don't really want to do that, you know, I mean, I find it boring, but that's what some people do.
Reactor
So don't be
online.
surprised
Sensors online. Weapons online.
if it happens to you.
All systems nominal.
Command to all warriors on the surface. Your task is to wipe away all hostiles. Show no mercy.
Now, as we play this mech, basically going to give you an overview of what the future streams are going to be like. I don't know if we're going to see Mr. New Potato return. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I may even make a new unit for Mr. New Potato to sit in and for people to join when we go over the whole unit creation, playing in group play as a new player, and so on and so forth. But what these streams and VODs are basically going to be are information for new players and veterans alike to help either
Fox 6, I got movement.
gain things about the game that they didn't already know, or to just refine things. I'm a competitive player who's been playing this game for over 5 years now, and have played it at a
Got a
pretty much
cicada
top
moving
level.
through Echo 5, Echo 4. I think he's trying
I've
to
faced
flank
some of
around.
the best teams in the game.
No worries.
And with it comes a lot of knowledge of a lot of different builds, play styles, and maps. What I'm hoping to give you is tools in which you can use to make your game better, help your unit, do whatever. So we're going to go over maps, we're going to go over past competitive drops, we're going to go over strats into things into solo queue, group queue, as well as faction warfare. my very first mech I ever started out in was a Hunchback 4G. And I loved it to absolute bits, and I still do to this day. I still play it.
New target acquired.
Well, I sold it at one point, and then I bought a new one. I had a Founders Hunchback 4G.
New target acquired.
I sold it in protest.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Heat level critical. New target acquired.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
There's a lot of mechs that are a lot of fun, yeah. Personally, I'd just advise people to start out in a medium or a heavy. There's the trial mechs now are great compared to what we used to have.
Target acquired.
They were, the mechs we used to have were terrible trial mechs. But now
I've
their
got to close
armor's
the
a lot
distance
more
somehow. I'm
balanced.
useless at these ranges.
The weapons are a lot more
Target
efficient
spotted.
for the
Only we could
ranges.
pop smoke in advance.
No kidding. I'm gonna push over to Fox 8 and try and flank them.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm gonna try and give you some covering fire. Come on, guys.
What you're hearing right there that's the voice over IP. That's the chat that the players use in the game. So you don't have to use TeamSpeak or Discord in order to talk to the people. You can use the in-game chat, but my advice is always, starting out as a new
Target
player,
spotted.
Target
don't
acquired.
necessarily ignore what people are saying, you know what I mean? Because like these guys are wanting to coordinate an attack. So think about that. But at the same time, if anyone's
You guys.
particularly ordering you about, telling you what to do as a new player starting out, honestly, my advice,
Tired of these laser fucks.
ignore it. You're new. Get to grips with what you can do first,
New
then
target acquired.
later on worry about how you can
Target spotted.
contribute. But focusing
They're
on
watching
your
to
own
come
game
around.
Over there.
is the best way in which you can improve.
We've got the attention of at least 3 of them.
That's alright.
If we aggro pull 1 or 2 more of them, you guys in Fox 7 need to push across.
Yeah.
So we're gonna help.
Come on, guys. I'll come give you some support.
We're gonna help this.
Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Target destroyed.
75%.
This Spider Pig scan, I'll take his weapon.
Target acquired. Heat level critical.
There she blows. Come on then, guys. Let's move around.
New target acquired.
Squeeze and switch and... J, Juno.
New target acquired. New target
Under then our end
acquired.
missiles, and hardly any mines and tens.
Charlie down.
New target acquired.
Yeah, J's.
New target acquired.
A couple of just going around the bottom.
of the enemies remain.
Good job, Charles. Does.
New target
Speech
acquired.
impediment.
Hotel's over in Delta 5.
Warning.
Looks like we got
incoming
another heavy
missile.
in Delta 6.
Right torso critical damage.
Hotel's at
Warning,
60%. Focus fire.
Left arm critical damage. Heat level critical. Warning incoming missile.
Why are my arms falling off, Mr. New Potato Head? Because I've been shot. When you're shot, as it was covered earlier, your mech accumulates damage. Damage does not
New
regenerate
target
in this game.
acquired.
So you have to be careful when you're
We've got a
piloting.
couple trying to
Obviously,
flank
the
up
more you
now.
pilot,
New
Foxtrot 6.
target acquired.
Need
more
to
you're
get a
gonna
guy,
find this
guy
out.
E6 move up first. You're going to get cut off.
Good kill. Hotel's down.
Target destroyed. New target acquired. Heat level critical. Heat level critical. New target acquired.
The enemy has
Level
started to chip
critical.
away at us.
New target
Stay
acquired.
frosty.
Target acquired.
Focus India.
Destroyed. Target acquired.
Leg Lima.
New target acquired. Critical. Heat level critical. Target destroyed.
That's what happens if you overheat.
Right, where's this little fucker on my feet? Yeah.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Good kill.
Nice. Good job.
Do you get a skeet shooting bonus for killing them in the air?
You should do, shouldn't you? I used to do a bit of clay fishing shooting as it happens. That was with an AC-10 while he was flying.
Nice.
This is how you spot a
See you
Smurf.
next time.
Yep.
That's how you spot a Smurf. Just so you know. If you were asked to which mechs I would recommend to new players, I'd probably say the Cat Mark 2A, Assault, Hellbringer Heavy, or Huntsman Medium, and RTG for Light. Honestly, I'd make it a lot more simpler than that. Because that's like, there's already a lot of choices in this game for what new pilots can do. The Hellbringer is, I will agree, a really good starting mech as it comes with ECM. ECM being something that jams the enemy targeting systems. It makes them harder to throw long-range missiles at you. We'll cover those weapon systems down the line, probably in the next stream. But as for now, let's just go for a little debrief of what we did today for this stream. So what we covered basically is the new player experience. Your first hour or so in the game is you played the academy, you got gold in it. This netted you 5 million C-bills just from playing the academy alone, and you're going through the cadet bonuses. I should just remember to click mech select. You're playing the mechs that are available to you, the trial mechs. And a lot of these mechs are very good for new players to basically try out and play. There's not a lot wrong with them, and they each offer a different play style and how to approach the game. There's brawling mechs, ranged, large plus laser mechs, not necessarily ranged mechs. That's a ranged mech because it has extra ranged large lasers. Once again, I'll cover the weapon systems at a later date, but right now all the new player is doing is playing these different mechs and experimenting with what they do and how they feel. Can't necessarily turn my volume up a little, but I can speak a lot closer into the microphone. The mechs I advise you to stay with are basically the medium and heavy mechs. The medium and heavy mechs give you enough health as an armor and internal structure to play with, decent weaponry on them, and they are relatively speedy in terms of movement and will give you a very basic foundation on which to spring off of and probably launch yourself into either the heavier mechs or the lighter mechs. But from the off, seriously, medium and heavy mechs are the ones you should be playing. Don't really think about the other ones. Okay, so for next week, next Friday, I'll do the stream up at the